Everyone has a fear. Everyone is scared of something. I mean, you can walk around and pretend and lie and say that I'm not scared of anything. That's not true. A good example is if you go up to a VTuber fan and say something like the word of boyfriend, they may just absolutely lose it and not be able to handle it and may just start crying instantly. Well, one thing that a lot of YouTubers are just absolutely terrified of is multi-channel networks. This is one thing that when me, and I'm assuming when a lot of people think about it, you instantly see it as bad, because when a lot of YouTubers bring up these things, they never really say anything good about it. They say like how they got scared from it, they did this for me, they do this, and they completely say like stay away from it as all means necessary. Like if one of these people come and approach you, you go on your Sparrow, you go absolutely full speed, and you never stop basically hitting the gas, literally absolutely for nothing. That's how bad most people make it out for, and I will say they have a bad reputation among YouTubers and especially their audience. That one thing that me and I'm assuming a lot of people are surprised with is that multi-channel networks are still relatively used. Now I know they were more necessary back in the day, because back then it was way more harder to get like ads on your YouTube videos, but it's not really like that anymore. It's way more easier to get a YouTube channel monetized, and you basically don't need to do that. So that caused me thinking that, oh, maybe these things fizzle out, and maybe most people won't really talk about and mess with them anymore. But nope, that is not true, because some of the biggest YouTubers still have them. Now I know what you're wondering. If you're a big YouTuber, a YouTuber have 1 million, 2 million, or maybe even like 10 million subs, what's the point of you still having something like this? What do you gain? Well, apparently what I ended up researching, most of them gives you like, basically I say like a safety net. Something in case if one of your videos get copyright strike, if one of your videos get age restricted, you can talk to one of these multi-channel networks that they can basically get the situation solved for you and make it extremely easier, get like a weight off your chest. And then it also seems they can give you like brand and sponsorship deals, which I think is one main reason why. Because again, most super big YouTubers who have these usually get like a 0% revenue cut, where the multi-channel network takes $0. And I know what you're wondering. Why would they take that much money? Are they doing this from the kindness of their heart? Are they just that good people? Well, the answer to that is no, because their business, they're going to want to make money. But basically they'll go and give you a brand deal, and then from that brand deal, they'll take a couple of money. So I guess you could just completely focus on making videos, and then the multi-channel network can go and find like views and sponsorships and do that stuff for you. It seems like this is how the most relationship go now for people who actually has it. Well, this is where our story ended up going wrong, because it starts with H3H3. He is a very old YouTuber. He is someone who's been there for a while, around the beginning of the time where people still used to be making those collab videos with like Dorito bags and Mountain Dew, and I think a lot of people know him around the whole commentary area because he made a lot of videos like that. Well, he kind of basically changed, and now he's going 100% more and pushing more towards his podcast, which loosely makes sense because, as we all know, if you're a YouTuber, if you don't really change your content form, you're not going to make it there for the long run. So that's basically what he's been doing now for the last couple of years. If people know him, it's loosely from the podcast. Well, he ended up uploading on one of his channels that he has been into bad news, because he has said his multi-channel network has basically took a lot of money from him. Over $500,000 amount of dollars. That's not just some money that you can just put away, you know, that's a big deal. I'm pretty sure if anyone lost that amount of money, they're gonna be pretty pissed, and he clearly was in his video. Now, these money ended up coming from his channel membership. If you guys don't know, some YouTubers have that option, where basically you can go pay the YouTuber directly and go to support them for the membership, pay a certain money a month, and those were the money that they ended up taking up from.
And recently is that I got my payment stub from them like usual, which shows basically how much they paid us. And when I went into YouTube analytics, I noticed it was like significantly off. And I was like, this is strange. And I asked our accountant or our head of finance for our businesses to go look back and see if there's discrepancies. And as far as we could tell, they had skimmed $620,000 at least, right? That's just from what we can tell from specifically the membership money. You know, and that especially ticks me off, because this is people coming to us to show us their direct support. Like, that was the whole point.
So basically what they're going with, they say on their whole contract that they can take 70% of other revenue, and they're determining that his YouTube sub is basically a other revenue stream, which is something that I think me and a lot of other people wouldn't really agree with, because I think that's really stretching it, because that's super duper connected to YouTube. That whole system is still attached to like Google and YouTube. It's not something from like a completely different website. So I think that's like an extremely crazy stretch, saying that's like an utter source of revenue.
And say, well, if you look at this section, your revenue, and you look here, it says 70% of other net revenues. And they're like, well, memberships is other net revenue, and therefore we are entitled to keep the $620,000 that we've essentially, I want to say, stole. That's my opinion. Obviously, the courts will decide. Obviously, we're suing them. Now, they must think I'm an idiot, right? Because they continue, they says, or as the parties may agree upon in writing on a case-by-case basis. Now, what's interesting about this, there was no writing. There was no case-by-case basis. This was them silently saying, oh, there's this huge new revenue stream coming in. Let's steal it secretly, silently, and hope they don't know.
I mean, if you're going that loosely, you can basically say just anything is artist sues for revenue. So obviously he's fighting back against this, and he's also said in the clip that he's gonna go sue them, which is just absolutely insane. This man is like a magnet to like lawsuits, because I think we all know one lawsuit that was probably one of the most biggest YouTuber lawsuits out there, when he ended up making fun of one dude, and that dude ended up just saying, yeah, you hurt my feelings so much, I'm gonna go and sue you, which is something that a lot of YouTubers say. I mean, this is something that we even saw recently with the whole Logan Paul situation at CoffeeZilla. I mean, he even went around saying that I'm gonna go sue you, which most people who ended up saying the whole sue you route, they usually don't go through with it, because 95% of the time, you're probably not going to win the case. But that's going a little bit off topic. He said he's basically gonna fight back against this, and then when he ended up going on the phone on it, this is when the situation gets like a little bit goofy, because the whole MCN ended up basically sounding like a literal generic evil villain.
And he has the balls to be, we've worked together for a long time, and we really want to figure out a way to make this work, dude. Just tell me, are you paying us back? He says, at this time, we believe that what the contract says, we are justified in keeping this money, and we will not be paying you back. He goes, yeah, it's an other revenue. I says, okay, my dad just gave me $100. Do you want $30 of that? Me and Theodore were playing Monopoly. Do you want 30% of my Monopoly money? Like, other revenue, what is that? I mean, well, other revenue. And I go, give me a break. I go back and look at the contract, and sure enough. And then this was my favorite part. This is how he justifies it. He says to me, to my face, well, over the phone, he goes, okay, then, let me ask you this. If you care that we've been taking this money from you, then why didn't you just leave?
And that last whole mindset, if you don't like the way we're doing stuff, how about you just leave, just go away, which I just think is just strange. I really don't know what this company goal was. I don't know if they were like trying to pull a fast one, saying that, yes, maybe I can just go and take just a little bit of this, and he definitely would not notice it. He just wouldn't see that a good amount of money is just randomly gone, and he would just be like, oh, is this a coincidence or a glitch or something? I generally don't know what their plan was, and I don't know how they think something like this was literally going to succeed. I mean, there's a lot of YouTubers in the comment sections backing him, and also a couple of other people saying that there's literally no way they can win the lawsuit. Now, I don't know that, because I don't know anything about like legal stuff, and I'm not going to pretend I do. Look, I'm just some dude in a mask talking to the camera. But this is a very interesting situation, and a kind of just scummy thing to do, especially. I mean, it seems like they had a good relationship for quite a while now, so just for you to come out of nowhere and do this, and apparently just burn all the bridges and all the partnership you had with, I'm assuming, one of your biggest YouTubers who are connected to the network, just because you wanted a little bit more money, makes no sense to me. Anyway, my name is Lua. This is just something that I wanted to talk about. You have a good day or night. See ya.